Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to today's live. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny, and manifesting the life you desire. I hope you're all doing well today. And I hope this space brings you some peace, some clarity, some answers to the questions that you bring in today. So take a deep breath, center yourself, and be open to the messages that Spirit has for us today. As usual, as a reminder for anyone new here, if you do want a reading, just click the link in the pinned comment to join the queue. I am about to close the list because it is filling up quickly. So any last minute readings, click that link. A reminder of how I read. So I'm an energy reader, here to bring you some clarity to your situation. So I tap into your energy, anyone else in that situation. So please do provide as much clarity, as much context as you can. It helps me to connect with your energy and give you a meaningful reading. And whilst you're here, the chat guidelines are all posted just in the Nightbot messages. So please do have a quick look whilst you're waiting for your reading. And I'm just going to light this candle because I've actually forgotten to do that. So that's important. How's everyone doing? And my cat's just started to meow as well. So that's all sorted. So bear with me, give me one moment. I'm just going to go ahead and grab the list. Doing okay, Tia? ... question mark. I saw, Srithi, you were asking about cleansing crystals as well, and just like Namira said, to put in fresh water under the moon or out at night. And I always like to add some good quality salt to the water as well. You can cleanse tarot cards, obviously minus the water, but you can do a salt circle. Salt is very cleansing. I'm going to post the list in 2 halves. And first up we have Samreen, but I'm not sure if... Oh, there's Samreen. Hey, Samreen. You're number 1 on the list, my love, if you want to go ahead and post your question. Hey, Jazz, I'm glad you made it. And 10 other newish subscribers, welcome. Do you think that all crystals need different cleansing? I always stuck to the rule of the salt water and under the moonlight. But everyone has their different techniques, yeah? Today I'm using the Neon Rider-Waite Tarot deck. So let's get started. Samreen asks, does my office ex H still miss me? Are we still energetically connected as we were in the past? Let's see how they feel. I mean, I often think, you know, if you feel energetically connected to them, then there still is a connection that remains, if that makes sense, yeah? You're no longer manifesting him, or think about what he's up to. That must be quite freeing. Okay, let's have a look at your ex's energy though. Let's see what comes through. Selenite can't with salt because it's soft, says Namira. justice for them. Major Arcana. So Major Arcana, so really that sort of first up tells me that I feel like there is some energetic connection still on their side, just because Major Arcanas denote powerful energies. And justice what comes to mind is that they are in search of some kind of justice. Their goal is to balance these scales, which is interesting. So maybe they feel there's some unfinished business here themselves, and the outcome is not as they'd hoped, is not as they'd planned. Just like I say, they are in search of some kind of justice and balancing the scales in this situation. I don't know. I mean, I don't really feel like that you have done them wrong, that it doesn't feel like that kind of energy, unless correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think it was more their lack of action and intent that kind of brought this connection to a close. But Page of Swords would say that they want to communicate to you. They have something to say. They have some information that they want to come forward. They're not quite ready because it's a page and not a knight. So that's always worth noting. The page is when we're still kind of in a preparation mode. We're gathering information. We're gathering our thoughts, our feelings before, once we get a decision, a sort of set space, that then we move forward and go into the night energy of actually taking action. Seeing his face no longer brings up emotions. That's a great place to be in, Samreen. That's like a powerful, more powerful and empowering place to be, yeah. His lack of commitment. Right, I'm going to ask for one more card to see just on this justice, and then I'll move on. But yeah, I feel like they've got something on their mind, something that they'd like to communicate to you. Maybe they want some clarity on the situation. Maybe they've got something that they didn't say that they now want to say. That feels to be the energy here. Yeah, the World card, so endings, beginnings. So they either want to, get some closure on this and kind of tie up loose endings, or they're in the process maybe of something is closing out in their life and they're looking at new beginnings and new chapters, which maybe brings their thoughts back to you about reaching out to see where you're at. Two major arcanas here, so there's some big energies going on for them behind the scenes, maybe some big changes with this World card. So let's watch this space. Like I say, you're in a good position, Samreen, that you've kind of moved on, or certainly shifted that energy from where you were, which is great and which is empowering, so stay with that. And then, this communication, this Page of Swords, if that comes through, then it'd be interesting to see what they have to say. You might not be bothered anymore. It could be that World close, that they want some closure. They have some, what I keep hearing is unfinished business, Samreen. Unfinished business. So not all loose ends. Energetically there is still some ties there. It hasn't been fully freed up and closed out, yeah? I always say good endings make for good beginnings. We don't always get the closure that we want, though. Okay. So I hope that resonated, Samreen. In answer to your question, I would still see some energetic ties. Samreen says, thanks, I followed your advice not to put all eggs in one basket. Yeah, I wish I'd learned this in my early 20s. It's a tricky one to learn, you know, I don't know if you're one of these people, Samreen, who maybe don't fall for someone very often, but when you do, you fall hard. So it's hard not to do all the eggs in one basket, but it seems to be the best rule of thumb. Hey, Ivo. So glad you could make it. Thanks, Tia, for posting. So Tia says, Esther Pisces and I tried to have our date last Friday, but it was interrupted by the presence of my Leo ex. No way. They know each other. I came later, so maybe some things were said. I don't know. S overreacted towards me, in my opinion, after some miscommunication. I kept my cool, but I left early. He contacted me yesterday to chat about some things. What are his intentions now? I almost feel like it's over. We haven't spoken yet. And what happened? Because last time we spoke, he had that thing, oh, I've got something to say to you as well. Was that the date that got interrupted? Because I feel like he's always keeping you on these cliffhangers, Tia, which doesn't feel great, you know, like hanging it over your head. You know, I've got something to chat about. I need to talk to you. I remember last time it came through, almost felt like kind of, you know, drama queen energy, yeah? So you still haven't been able to speak, but it was interrupted by the Leo. So what was the Leo up to? Anyway, that was the date got interrupted. Okay. Let's see where your Pisces are at, okay? I know that the Pisces insecurities have felt like they've been running high of late, yeah? Yeah. So this is their energy in their head, totally in their head. Anxiety, not trusting their own intuition. The energy is ungrounded, yeah? So we feel anxious, we feel worried, etc., when our energy is too much in our head. It's like we need to go out, you know, that expression, I know you'll laugh at me when I say this, but you know, that joking expression, go outside and touch grass, yeah? It's like we need to get real. We need to take off our shoes and walk barefoot in the grass and literally and ground our energy, or go to the gym, or, you know, talk to a loved one and share. But their energy is they're worried, and yeah, they're at a crossroads that maybe they're thinking, they are having doubts about this connection because they've gone off the deep end about this Leo turning up. They're feeling, in all their insecurities, they kind of are feeling quite raw, yeah? But if they could take off this blindfold and just trust the situation, trust their intuition, trust you a bit more, then a lot of these problems would just kind of go away, really. Oh my God, look at that. I don't really want all those cards. Spirit, just one more, please. For Pisces, about their likely actions, I think would be useful. So likely actions doesn't feel bad. It feels the Chariot is ultimately still determined to progress with this connection, to make it work. The Chariot is is someone who, it's interesting because this is someone who isn't full of doubt and is actually very determined and certain about overcoming obstacles and about moving forward. So that's hopeful. So what happens in the in-between? I'm nosy. How do we get from this to this? Maybe it's just having a conversation with you, being able to have this talk to you, being able to talk it out with you will bring them down. Yeah, they're what we would call upper height. Yeah, look at that. So another major arcana, we have the Star card here, which is about a hope, a wish. They want this still to work to you. I don't see that unless you feel like you want to move away. Or moving on away from me, sorry. No, I felt like I didn't feel that at all. That didn't come through. I would express that if I see it change, but the Chariot is more like this determination, yeah, to overcome problems, to overcome obstacles. If it was like cutting you off, it would be more like something like Swords energy, maybe being harsh, you know, making a kind of cutthroat decision, or it might be, you know, a different kind of energy would appear to me. That's not how it, because particularly alongside this Star energy to you, okay? Star, wish come true, hopeful. It's also the Star card's about getting centered again, which I think is what's important, because the question was, how does the Pisces get from here, which is indecision, insecurity, to certainty and forward movement for this connection? And how they do that, again, is about returning to themselves. Pisces actually have incredibly strong intuition and live and die by their intuition and their emotions, really. And when they're in their light, yeah, when they're shining, that this is what is their superpower. But when it's in their shadow side, they're just it gets incredibly messy, and they're all over the shot, and almost become just pure emotion and are very ungrounded. So they need to come back to themselves. Try to hold on to this if you have a difficult conversation at the next date. Try to understand that they're having a wobble. All you can do is, you know, reassure as best you can, but it's up to them really it has to come from them, that they find their center and ground themselves. But kind of just be aware of this going into it, so you don't pick that up too much, or as well try and fix this or internalize that. Okay, I hope that helped. Hope that resonated. Okay, so we have Sruthi, my love, you are next. If you want to go ahead and post. You're welcome, Tia. Thanks, Tia. I really appreciate you saying that. It's always great to have feedback, to know that these readings are landing, you know, for people. So thank you. Love and light, Tia. It's also, Tia, as well, about you being really receptive and open. So props to you, because this is a mutual energy exchange. Keep us posted. Thank you, Sruthi. So Sruthi asks, is there an emotion or belief buried in my energy field that keeps me from taking action? Interesting. Love and light, Tia. I keep procrastinating everything to the last moment, even going out. Oh, interesting. I find that I have lost interest in doing anything, including things I love. Oh, I hate social interaction and don't feel like leaving my house. I would rather starve than go out and buy groceries. Wow, Sruthi, that's heavy. What's got you so down? That almost sounds like, obviously I'm not a doctor, but like depression, like does it come with a lot of sadness and heavy emotion, or is it more the procrastination, or is it both? Is there someone making you unhappy, or is there a situation that is making you unhappy? Because often, a lot of times that we're told that it's a problem with us, but if you're in an unhappy situation that is wearing down on you, yeah, like that's a natural response to become unhappy, to become depressed, and it's a normal, healthy human response. It's not a mental health problem, yeah. But you say nothing has happened to trigger it. No sadness. Well, lazy's a very negative word, Sruthi. I wouldn't call yourself lazy. Let's see what Spirit says, because this is a deep question, and I don't know if you had talked to a therapist. Maybe even if you don't have that sadness, it might be worth talking to someone if you have access to those services. I mean, it could be, if it's procrastinations, things like ADHD, if you're not able to get your, some people struggle with, who've got quite bad ADHD, can't get themselves in the shower because the obviously I don't fully understand it as someone without ADHD, but kind of the process of having to, get changed, get a towel, get in the shower, it's all just so overwhelming. So that might be worth exploring as well. It's exploring all things. But anyway, let's see what Spirit has to say. That's my thoughts, but Spirit may have different thoughts. The World card, which is about beginnings and endings, just like came through for Tia. I'm going to pull another card to see what aligns with that, because that could mean so many things. Is there a fear of starting new things with that procrastination that has got out of hand? The Sun, 2 major arcanas. So the Sun is about our happiness, it's about our joy. It's interesting that you said that you don't care about the things that you love, even like you don't feel motivated to even don't do those things that you enjoy. What's the advice for Sruthi here? Ten of Cups is about our emotional health, emotional happiness. Which would tell me, I mean, it sounds simple, but it's so easy to overlook, Shruti, but about putting your emotional health first. Like maybe this is something that you've overlooked for a while, that you've pushed aside, and maybe you've overridden kind of what your emotional needs, and pushed yourself to do things that were scary, or you knew, or you felt you had to do, or you've put others' needs first. However it might manifest as all those things. But I feel like Spirit is saying it's time for you to put your emotional happiness at the forefront, backed by the sun, which is your joy. And you say, yes, I fear everything in general, okay? I love writing stories, but I don't feel like it, and it's the first this is happening, okay? So it's like these red flags, okay? It's like it's telling you, Shruti, isn't it, that even if you don't know what it is, that there's something not right, yeah? As long as it's not physical, because there can also be physical issues. It might be worth getting your health checked out. You know, if it's like, if you feel tired all the time and you've got no energy, that's also another thing. But if it doesn't feel that, like if physically you feel strong and healthy, and it does feel emotional, then I think it's time to really give it the time and attention that you need. The world is, like I say, about different cycles, different changes, and I feel like that there are some changes happening in you. Like maybe you've reached the end of putting everyone else first, and it's like you're almost starting to shut down in a way, because your inner world, your inner self, your soul, whatever you want to call it, is saying, you know, I can't continue as I have been operating. I always put my grandpa's happiness above mine, yeah. So start making, we don't have to make drastic changes, but seeking help, so someone to talk to, therapy, trying to put yourself first when you can. It's almost come to a pinnacle, it's come to a head, that you need to start a new cycle and you need to focus on your happiness. And your soul is almost refusing to cooperate, which is what tends to happen, yeah, that we can't keep up with what we once were because there's something not right about it. You're sacrificing, Shruti, too much. You've sacrificed your own happiness for too long in some way. So I'll leave it there, but I hope that resonated. I'm a people pleaser. Yeah, maybe I should put my emotions first. 1000%. The World card comes to say that there is a new dawn coming for you, Shruti. You have to, it's almost like you have to change. Yeah, and revise things and do things differently. It's not working anymore. So we need to focus on our own emotional needs, our own emotional health. We can only do it for so long, you know. Sacrifice ourselves. It's a beautiful thing to be a giver as well, and to not be a taker, yeah. But we have to also protect our energy and not sacrifice ourselves. But I hope that resonated, Shruti. I'm going to move on now to Namira, my love. This is for you. Thank you for posting. So my question, is October, going to be a good month for me? I'm doing better, but I heard from my daughter that she doesn't feel that my eldest son will be always married. Because they have problems. So I'm a little worried. I'm worried about all the things going on with my son. Yes, wishing for peace and quiet times. Absolutely. Hard relate to that one, Namira. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at October energy for you and what will this bring. I mean, I remember I know your son's partner, that they came through as maybe not such a great energy, but obviously that doesn't mean that separating is going to be the right thing. But Sruthi says, yes, that resonated. I think you're right, even though I don't like it, I will change. Yeah, it's very hard to change. But you are literally having the life force drained out of you now, Sruthi, so sometimes we have to listen. Namira, this is for you. Let's see what October is bringing. It's about protecting your own peace. The moon. The path isn't clear, okay? It's a major arcana. The moon is it can bring up some worries, some fears, yeah? Because we're in the unknown. The moon always, to me, it feels sort of like uncertain. And it's hard when we can't see the way forward and we lack kind of structure and we lack, it's human nature, isn't it, to want to know what's coming. I mean, none of us really know what's coming, but to kind of have a plan and to think that you can have some kind of expectation and some kind of normalcy, where the moon can see your energy here, there is some concern, there is some worry. And almost as well maybe fearing the worst. Now, the moon as well, in the positive side of it, is that we have to trust our gut and trust our intuition, and in a way, in these times of being in the unknown, that we really learn how to trust and rely on ourselves and in many ways really get to know ourselves, because we have to just, when you don't know what's coming, you kind of just have to lean into radical trust. I'm going to pull another card though. Guidance then to how for Namira of how to manage this, all this unknown, and maybe with your son and that marriage, it will all be up in the air. In October, there won't be clarity about if they're going to stay together, or how do we deal with it? Ten of Pentacles. I mean, this feels hopeful, okay? I feel like this is kind of the family unit that is still connected. Ten of Pentacles is about stability, is about family, and it's about abundance. So this to me gives me hope, actually, and gives me faith that I feel like you can have some trust in really, like, despite all the issues with your son and those problems and even the issues maybe that he's experiencing with this marriage, that there is still a connection here that runs through, that is strong, and they may well withstand the issues. I imagine that their lives are very entwined as well, so there may be financial things that bind them together, which kind of encourages them in some ways to work this out, work this through. What I see is with this card coming through, Namira, is that the family unit will survive this. And you will, after this period of unknown, and insecurity. Maybe by the end of October or in the near future that things will get back on track and things will stabilize. That's what I'm hearing. So I hope that resonates. That felt good that that came through, so I hope that helped. Okay. Hi, Nat Nat. Glad you could make it. So Nat Nat asks, what should I know for my highest good in October? You're welcome, Namira. Hopeful. Exactly. So Spirit, what does Nat Nat need to know for her highest good in October? The Emperor. Ten of Pentacles again. Okay, so bear with me one moment. I feel like this Emperor energy. Did you get the Emperor last time? I feel like this is someone else's energy. So I do feel like it's someone who is going to come into your energetic field, who is a strong character, yeah? They know what they want, and the Emperor energy, like I always say, is the boss of the deck. They don't pull any punches. They're very direct. It can be quite, you know, what's that energy? Just kind of when they talk, that they're so direct in their communication, it can sort of take you back, take you aback in a way, because not many people sort of communicate in such a forceful way. So they're just sort of signs for someone for you to look out for, to recognize their energetic signature. And so I feel like this is someone who's going to come into your energy field who is good for you, who is someone who can be a match for you, Nat Nat, okay? Because ultimately, like, you're not someone really who pulls any punches either. And your job really is to keep working towards this Ten of Pentacles, which is holding space for almost being like quality control, Nat, okay? Not, again, we've spoke about this in the past, not letting time wasters or people like that fill that space, because we're waiting for the Emperor. And the Ten of Pentacles is about that ideal life that we will continue to work towards, and it's about showing up every day with that intention, building your future, yeah, if it's whatever your ideal kind of future looks like. This is very abundant energy, you know, if it is a family unit, you know, the dream house, the dream job, whatever it looks like for you, yeah, then it's about holding space for that, and also putting in the work. You know, it is Pentacles, so it is earth energy, and it is about being practical. So yes, we show up every day and we turn up and we tune in, yeah. Yes, you like straightforward people, exactly. So that won't put you off, yeah? That Emperor energy, that kind of pulling no punches is what I keep hearing, what I keep feeling. So that was for your higher self. Your higher self is stick to the plan, don't give up hope, keep being intentional, keep holding space. That's your side of the street to keep clean, is to do that and be like quality control, be the bouncer of your energetic field of who gets into your space, yeah, and who's not allowed past the barriers. I'm interested to know who this is and for you to meet them. I mean, socialize, go on dates if you want to, if you feel open to that, to move things along, as in to cross paths with this Emperor. Or it can happen serendipity. What's the word? Serendipitous. Yes, I'm liking this energy as well. I'm liking this Emperor's energy very much. It's about time they need to get a move on, but here we are in October, so keep us posted. Watch this space. Hold this space. So I hope that resonated, Nat. Benny, my love, if you are here, please go ahead and post your question. Oh, there we go. Benny, thank you. Benny asks, is there any blockages in my manifestation? I've been doing it, but yet I feel stuck and moving on. It's tricky, isn't it? It's hard. Manifesting is, I'm not going to say it's hard because it's easy really, but when you're in that stuck energy, it's challenging. Let's see what blockages, you're feeling stuck. What can help this stuck feeling? You're welcome, Nat. Love and light to you. Message for Venny, please. This block. What will help this block? So you will be victorious. You will be successful. So this is reassurance from Spirit, Venny, for you. It says it will happen. 6 of Wands is, like I say, a card of success, card of victory. This person is parading through the town with a crown on their head. Everyone is cheering for them. So that stands for that you are getting the acknowledgement. So if they say it can be, in relationship and career. Career is that, you get the position that you want, or you get the acknowledgement that you want. In a relationship, it's kind of an acknowledgement as well, isn't it? It's all about feeling seen, really. That's kind of all that anyone wants, really, is to feel seen. Let's see what we can do in the meantime. So this kind of tells me which is always the way with manifestation, as much as you can lean into that energy, Venny, of that it's already done. Okay? That kind of stuckness, and we must trust in divine timing, because things can be going on that we behind the scenes that we aren't privy to, that we don't know why there's a delay. It's not really for us to understand, and it's not for us to also get caught up in the how this is going to happen, because that can be a real killer as well. If you say, what are manifesting financial success, as soon as you kind of get into the weeds of, well, how is this even possible? I've only got, this job with this capped amount of money, and I've got no time for a second income or something like that. How could this possibly come through? That's a killer of the energy and allowing it to come in. So work on work on that. I always say with manifestation, if you can create a daily practice, this can help shift that stuck feeling that you have in Venny as well, because if you're doing a daily practice, you can do what needs to be done, and then just the aim is, I guess, to forget about it and to leave it be. So write in your journal, do the visualization, do the meditation. It only has to be 15 minutes a day. That's what Abraham Hicks recommends. Even just 15 minutes a day can change. It will bring you some inner peace, Venny, as well, doing that. And you can sort of go, right, I've done everything that's on my part. Again, that thing about what I was saying to Nat about holding space. If you can keep your side of the street clean and do what's on your part, and then you can be freed up to just let the rest, leave the rest to the universe. Yeah, so how to remove the blockage it's about changing your mindset and changing your perception. 8 of Wands is all about anxiety, fear. And this person here who has tied themselves mentally in knots and blindfolded doesn't realize the story behind this is that they can just take the blindfold off and unravel themselves and step away from this kind of line of swords, and things aren't what they seem. So maybe again thinking the worst or spiraling into negativity, which I can understand, and it's no mean feat to shift our mindset, but that's really where that blockage comes from, is about mindset, perception, outlook. And that's the best place to kind of tackle it head on, is with our practices. I hope that resonated. Okay, Crystal, my love, if you were here, Crystal 1983. Anyone who's watching as well, if you're watching the replay, I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so just please be sure to join us then if you weren't able to get on today's list. Hey, my Star Motivation, so glad that you could join us. I hope you're enjoying the readings. I can see you're on the list, so I'll get to you very soon. You're welcome, Venny. And Crystal asks, so does my ex N and his co-worker feel I was behind the calls and messages yesterday? It's not really how I would read the tarot, Crystal, with things like that. So that's really I would say a yes/no question. Regrettably, I was, sort of. And now I'm worried they may retaliate and plot against me. Or should I be worried? Okay, I can... I'll see where energetically where they're at, okay? I'm not going to focus so much on if they think you were behind the calls. I'm just going to see their feelings towards you, and that should give us some insight, Crystal, okay? Thank you, my Star Motivation. Okay, let's have a look. Interesting. Waiting for something in regards to you. The 3 of Wands is waiting for the ships to come in. Tell me more, Spirit. Again, this is you know, we just had this Eight of Swords in your head, feeling worried, feeling anxious. This is really about, as well, saying it's about a mindset shift for you, Crystal, that I would say worry less about this, that it isn't going to have the catastrophic effect that you kind of worry, think and feel may unfold, okay? I kind of feel like you need to shrug this off more and fight off that anxiety and fear, and not get I don't know, can we take it less seriously in some ways? Like, even if it was a mistake, even if you know you shouldn't have done it, in the great span of things, let's zoom out. Does it really matter? No. This is what the energy I feel like. They might be waiting on you. I don't know, would you normally, do you feel tempted to reach out to them and sort of say sorry or clarify? I'm not sure if that's the best move, but I'm just wondering why I've got this Three of Wands. If they seem to be maybe they kind of know that you're freaking out and might expect to hear from you. Final message, please, Spirit. About, let's go to outcome, yeah? Where will this all land? The Star card, a positive card, a hopeful card. The Star card is about a wish come true. It's about, again, sort of staying centered and grounded in your own energy and in your own power. It doesn't end, to me, this does not end badly with the Star card. The Star card is such a positive omen. Maybe that's your wish. What's the wish outcome that you hope for? What do you hope for? I feel like that's what you can manifest, and that's what's most likely to happen. Let me know if if this is something historically, if this is something that if you made a mistake that you would get worried and apologize and try and make it up to them. I don't know if that's what they're kind of expecting or waiting from. That's the only kind of energy that I can get from that, really. Other than that, can be just that they're completely distracted about something else and they're waiting on, their only focus is the ships that are coming in, and that's their focus. But generally it says, anyway, the reassuring thing is, change your perspective. It's not as bad as you think. Your anxiety's got the better of you, and the outcome is this hopeful, peaceful, really quite magical star energy. Let me know if that resonated, Crystal. Okay, so we have Kerry Ann, my love, next. If you want to go ahead and post. Thank you, Kerry Ann. So Kerry Ann says, is O'Connor still energetically, emotionally connected to me? It's just been 5 months since we broke up, no contact, blocked. I'm just wondering, will we never communicate again or get closure? So I don't do yes no questions, but let's see energetic. Let's see what the energy around is now. Cards literally flew out there. You're welcome, Crystal. I'm glad that helped. Yeah, claim that star energy. That's the outcome you want, yeah? It's not a problem. It's not a big deal. Sort of tell yourself that. Use a mantra like that. Let's check in with O'Connor. Are they still energetically connected to you? We'll do that first, and then we'll do future energies. So where are they at now? Nine of Cups. They're focused on like their emotional well-being. I've talked about this a few times with this card, that on one hand, like, you know, the light side of this is that it's sort of emotional peace and happiness, but sometimes often when it comes up in these kind of readings, the shadow side of the Nine of Cups is that it can be quite selfish card. It can be that we're kind of indulging in our own needs and feelings and not really thinking of others, and it can be quite a closed off, stubborn energy. See this man here who has his arms folded, which reads as like, you know, a block. And they're also being stubborn in the sense of like, I'm right, you're wrong, or whatever kind of brought on the end of this connection and led to the blocking, etc. They are closed off right now, and they're in this emotionally selfish kind of energy. Carry on. So this is this stuck energy that you're feeling, yeah, that you are literally like the contact is blocked and they are digging their heels in some way. Let's see what the future brings. Okay, will you get closure? Will you get communication? Hey Nelia, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I hope you're well. The list is closed for today, but I do go live on Wednesdays and Fridays, so just watch out. I'll post tomorrow the time to be confirmed, and the list opens the day before each live stream. So just keep tabs on the community page. So what does the future hold? So is this going to change? Is Carrie Ann going to get closure, communication of some kind? We usually do, I would say. Oh, there we go. So it will shift. There will be some movement. This card is a card of success and victory, which tells me that you getting what you want, Carrie Ann. So the nature of this communication, I suppose it will feel whatever it brings, even if it's closure, yeah. If it's either, it can be communication about let's explore this again and see if we can reconcile. It could be that, or it could be that you begin to communicate, some communication comes through for sure, and at the very least that you get some closure and some better understanding of what happened. Because what I would see this card as, Carrie Ann, as a win, because it's victory, it's success, and a win for you right now, yeah, is the communication, and is that change, and is that shift. Wands is fire as well, so it's all about movement, change, action, kicking up the dust, that movement that you want. So it's a waiting game really for them to move out of this Nine of Cups energy. Let them stew in their own juices, Carrie Ann. So if you want peace and quiet, I mean, don't let them rob you of your peace and quiet now, Carrie Ann. Work on releasing that energy if you want them gone. If you just want to cut that cord, you can energetically work on that on yourself in the meantime, if that's what you want. So take what resonates with that, leave what doesn't, yeah? About don't let someone steal your peace. That's what I would say, because you could be, you know, you're waiting on this person. if you can shift that, then that's the best, that's empowering, yeah? But in answer to your question, you will be victorious in that communication coming round in the future. I hope that resonated. I hope that helped. So simply my style motivation. You are next, my dear, if you want to go ahead and post. You're very welcome, Kerry Ann. Thank you for being here. Can you read into my energy and see if the guy I am manifesting, a famous, successful guy, will come through for me? So I don't do yes, no questions. I also want to know if our relationship will be smooth with no issues. Again, I don't do yes, no questions. So I'm trying to think of the best way to look at this for you. What I would say is advice around your manifestations. So how to move them forward. If there's any blocks, let's have a look at that. We'll start with that. Spirit, please comment on my sound motivation. So some guidance, some advice around their current manifestations that they're working on. There we go. Nice energy. 9 of Pentacles. Now what I would say about this, so this tells me insight already on, let's see how this aligns with what how you feel around that manifestation, yeah? Because the 9 of Pentacles is someone who always energy, what comes through to me with the 9 of Pentacles is I can take it or leave it. And that's what 9 of Pentacles, this is a very independent person. This is someone who very much has their own life, has it together, has their own financial success, etc. It's almost trying to embody this 9 of Pentacles energy. And that's always the kind of what's the word, like the trick of manifestation almost, is to send it out into the universe, to want it and to let the universe know. I don't know how you work on your manifestations, how you practice, if it's in journaling, if it's in visualization, if it's in meditation. And if you can do one or all of those things, whatever you're drawn to, and show up every day and do that, and then just leave it be, really. And it's the letting go bit that often people struggle with. So to want it but to not need it, and to send it out into the universe but then not hold on to it, into the letting go. So there's something about that comes through from Spirit to you. And scripting, affirmation and visualization. Fantastic. So you're really on it. And the universe says, like, obviously it's about being in that energy that it's already yours. And I feel like though I keep hearing, so want it, but don't need it. If that makes sense, yeah? I also want to know if our relationship will be smooth with no issues. Well, again, that I would say is to make sure that you're incorporating that into the manifestation, that you are manifesting the ideal relationship, okay? So you want it to be smooth, you want it to have no issues. So speak that into your scripting, your affirmation, your visualization, yeah? What does Spirit have to say about that? The High Priestess, both these cards, the Nine of Pentacles is like almost like the minor version of the major High Priestess energy. She is very, trusts her own intuition. By you kind of doubting, by asking these questions, I also want to know if our relationship will be smooth with no issues. It's about having more faith in yourself, in your manifestation power, that you can manifest exactly what you want, and that's in your control, not anyone else's. Not, it's not about giving our power away to the universe when we're manifesting. It's about understanding it's a collaboration, yeah. And the High Priestess is amazing at being able to trust her intuition and see beyond the veil, and is very much in touch with this may be you as well, who is very empathic, who maybe has your own psychic abilities as well, and maybe that's something worth pursuing. But I think it's telling me that you have to lean more into your personal power and to have more self-belief that this is already done. Tends to be always in manifestation, it's the doubt that is the kicker. And we can always keep going back to that, to keep working on that until we know. There's a difference between wanting it to be done and really feeling that I know it's done. And that's when you really know that that manifestation is on its way to you. You can manifest whatever you want as long as it's harm to no one. Sometimes it's more tricky to manifest a specific person, but I would never tell anyone that you can't. You can manifest what you want, it's a power that can be used in a way that you want. No one can tell you what to manifest and what not to. So I'll leave it at that. Like I say, use magic for good, use manifestable. Manifestation isn't necessarily magic, it's just energetic. You're just working with energies and attracting what you desire, the law of attraction, which is quantum physics. It's science when you get to the bottom of it. So I don't believe in limiting my own beliefs or limiting anyone else's. So that's something, again, that's maybe some doubt, yeah? So you're asking me, is it okay to manifest this? So that would suggest that there are some limiting beliefs there. So I hope that resonated. Sonali, my love, if you are here, you are next. Oh, nice. Who was your friend? Who's your referral? You don't have to share if you don't want to, but I'm just being nosy. But that's good. So thank your friend for, I hope it resonated for you. Hey, Sonali. Mariana, as well, if you're here, my love, if you want to go ahead and post. Sarab's current feelings. Ah, Sruthi, yes. She was here today. Blessings to Sruthi. Hey, Anshuman. List is closed, I'm afraid. I'll be back. I'll be live on Wednesday, though. Sonali, this is for you, my love. Sarab's current feelings. Ooh. Ace of Cups. So potential. Fresh start. New love. Or new beginnings within existing connections. So this is hopeful. Sarab, yeah? Is this just tell me where we're at, if this is an ongoing attraction kind of situationship that has stalled? I mean, cups are all about love, romance. Maybe after a period of being stubborn and stuck, because the Four of Pentacles energy is like someone who's kind of afraid to step out of their comfort zone. They're kind of happy to stay in their little bubble, what they've created, and not step out of that yet. It's too scary, it's too fearful. But then we have this Ace of Cups, which tells me about a change in this, yeah? There is potential for new love, romance. So this could manifest in them reaching out to you, communicating to you, and there being some positive changes and positive shifts in this, Sarab, okay? So that is a hopeful reading there. Like I say, after a period maybe of stagnation, after of being more stuck, something is shifting, something is changing behind the scenes. So let's watch this space and see what happens, okay, Sonali? Mariana? And what does my ex Christian want from me? He is still very strong in my energy. Okay, let's have a look at Christian's energy. So, Sasha, just check out the list. It's been posted. You can see the order of things there. Always check the chat for updates. Check the chat for guidelines. You're welcome, Sonali. So, Mariana, this is for you. We'll check in to see what Christian, specifically when you say what he wants from you. What does he want? It was interesting what I heard, Mariana, so let me know if this resonates. It's like, it's almost like he wants to have his cake and eat it, because the Three of Cups is quite, so its light side is that it's just celebrating, it's having a good time, but its shadow side can be partying too much, it can be being superficial, it can be third party energy. And there's some also back to some confusion here, Mariana, about Seven of Cups is about choices and really having too many choices, and this kind of the grass is greener, yeah, thinking that there's opportunities out there. They're always kind of looking for the better thing, rather than kind of making good decisions for themselves and their situation, which includes you, about kind of really making the right decision and making the mature decision. Yeah, but the Seven of Cups can be quite caught up in delusional thinking, illusion, not thinking clearly. So I feel like they're in quite a mixed up headspace, Mariana. And like I say, there may be, take what resonates for that with, they are kind of numbing in some way emotionally. Maybe this manifests as partying, you know, drinking, just with all these cups. Don't know if that's part of their character, or it could just be that they're not being honest with themselves and they're not being honest with others. And I feel like they want it all. Like maybe they still have emotions for you. They would like to have you in their life as the stability and as their wife, you know, but then be able to go out and party and be irresponsible and have third party situations, all that kind of not good stuff, really. Yeah, big drinker. So that's still going on, which does not make for a clear mind or a clear heart. So protect yourself, Mariana, yeah, protect your energy, because they are kind of mixed up, and I would even go as to say that they're quite lost. And what they want from you, in answer to your question, is they want it all ways. But that's not possible, yeah, so you have to hold that boundary. Hope that resonated. Okay, Pooja, my love, you are next. We have Pooja, we have Sasha, and anyone else who is left, Kiki, Jazz, and oh, Anshuman, you are on the list. I'm sorry. I said you weren't. I didn't realise you were there. My mistake. No, we have Lily. You're welcome, Mariana. So, Pooja asks, I met Divyanshu through a matrimony app. Initially, he didn't seem very interested, but recently has been giving me special attention and treating me differently. Interesting. Hey Kiki, thank you for letting me know. So what's the question, Pooja? Sasha, if you're here, please go ahead and post as well. What are his current thoughts and feelings towards me? Has he started developing romantic feelings and begun to see me as a suitable match for marriage? Or does he still see me as just a friend? Okay, let's have a look, Pooja. Let's see current thoughts and feelings. So, Divanshu. So yes, there is a fourth cup, which is funny actually, because it's how you mentioned that initially there was this kind of, Four of Cups can sometimes talk about almost feeling rejected, yeah, and there being a kind of closed off energy in this connection. But what the Fourth of Cups talks about is this fourth option. So it's almost like this new chapter, this new page has developed, yes. After this initial kind of, we thought it was a closed door. But they are offering a cup. I mean, maybe this is your energy a bit as well, like after that kind of a bit rocky start, Pooja, maybe you feel a little bit guarded, which is normal, which is natural. But there is a romance. I mean, cups are about love or about romance, and this has almost, look at it as well, it almost seems like it's come out of nowhere in some ways, like it's a surprise, and it is being offered to you. So yes, this is a new chapter, a new potential. And because it's cups, I would say it's 100% it will be of romantic nature, not just friendship here that we're talking about, okay? Let's see the possibility, the energy around the possibility of you being together in the future. Oh, look at this. So yes, I don't do yes, no questions, but the Wheel of Fortune, if there was going to be a yes, this would be one of those cards, because the Wheel of Fortune is again a kind of a change and a shift in energy. It can be that, you know, maybe again almost referring back to that kind of rocky start or slow start, where, or maybe how you felt around love in general, that it's been somewhat of an effort of pushing this wheel upwards, and it kind of just been on you, and maybe not being able to make a connection that felt supported spiritually and that had flow to it. The Wheel of Fortune is all those things, yeah. It's when the dial turns and the energy, suddenly things begin to move faster in this connection. Look, feels like it's on your side. It feels like it's spiritually blessed, and that universal flow and energy is with you. So yes, there is potential here. There is potential for a big shift. It's a major arcana as well, which tells me that there's some potent energies here. So just follow this, be responsive to this. If you feel intuitively led and that you're interested in doing that, then open yourself up to this and explore it and see where it takes you, because it could take you to this beautiful Wheel of Fortune energy. So I hope that resonated. Hey Jazz. So I'll read for Sasha, then Kiki, and then Jazz. Thanks for letting me know that you're all here. And if you posted your question, that's great. I'll just get to it in order, so just leave it there. So this is for Sasha, who asked, due to domestic order, Kiwana, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is only able to have supervised visitation with our daughter. His family was very nasty to me. I'm sorry about that, Sasha. What's Kajana's feelings? He read the internet message but didn't respond. Okay, so where are you at with this, Kajana? When you say what's Kajana's feelings, are you worried that he's angry? Is this an ex that I don't know if you want reconciliation. Just let me know so I know where you stand and what your wants and needs are in this connection, if that makes sense. I'll certainly have a look at their energy now, but just so I've got context, you know, as an energy reader, this is what helps me to connect to you and wanting to know what you want, yeah? You're welcome, Pooja. You want to fix things, I can't speak, and talk, but he's upset. He needs to do the work. Okay. Let's see what's going on. So he wants reconciliation too. This is without a doubt with this sort of Four of Wands. They want stability. You know, there's you two as a couple. This can be a card of marriage. So I don't know if you were married or if you're separated, etc. If you were partners and they would want to be married. So this is what they want, even though, like you said, there's a lot of work to be done from what it sounds like, okay? So how are they prepared to do this work and do what needs to be done to get here is a different question. Because, you know, without the work, then this can just be a dream, yeah? But I suppose that gives us direct insight into where they're at and what they want, Sasha. Okay, so this Fool energy, because what the Fool energy is, I mean, the good side of it is that this is someone who is prepared to, you know, take a risk and take a leap of faith. But what I feel like is needed really with this Fool energy come through is like, this is what they're good at. This is what they can throw caution to the wind, and they maybe have a very adventurous spirit. But what they lack is like that it needs to be, this is time to ground this energy and do the work. It can't all just be, you know, maybe words and big gestures. It's more about this kind of daily grind, even, you know, of kind of doing the work and showing up for someone and showing up for you and your daughter. And it would suggest that they're still kind of in this Fool energy of this is what, and it can be immature energy, the Fool, like the shadow side, and there is some maturing and growing up that needs to be done here. So we still need to take, and the Four of Swords as well is like taking a rest and having a break. And I'm wondering if this is you, like I imagine it's caused a lot of anxiety for you, this situation. And we need to kind of pause and regroup, and you need to gather your strength and gather your energy. So what I would say really from them is that there is a lot of feelings here. There's a lot of still wanting to reconcile, really, to put it plainly. But I feel like that there's still work to be done, which maybe they don't quite grasp what that really entails. Time will tell. But just with this Fool energy, it feels like just that kind of big gestures, taking a risk, but not really, you know, doing the boring stuff that needs to be done. So I hope that resonates with their character. And then there's some advice for you here, I feel like, which is to protect your peace and your energy, and remember to rest and look after yourself in the midst of maybe this person's quite overpowering big energy and influence on you, and maybe what they've put you through. Yeah, we must take things slowly and not really dive in with this Fool energy. That would be foolish at this point, okay? So I hope that resonated. Okay, so Kiki, my love, this is for you. Hello there. I got a feeling for V. Is that V or Viv? V, I'll say. I want to know, if my intuitions are correct. Do we have a future together? Should I believe my gut feeling in this? I mean, I would say always that you should always believe your gut feeling, Kiki, but let's have a look. Sasha says, yes, because I had to make that decision. I didn't have a choice. And his family keeps interfering, enabling him, okay, with no accountability, yeah. I'm reaching him all the time. How frustrating. I'm glad that it resonated, Sasha. So maybe he gets to be the forever child, yeah? Man-child. Let's have a look what Spirit has to say, Kiki, about this connection, yeah? Let's have a look at the potential. What's brewing? Oh, well, yes. So we've just had this card for Sasha. Obviously, it has different meanings, different questions, different people. But this says, yes, there is 100% chance for a strong union here. 4 of Wands is about, as we see here, a couple. Can mean many things, but it is a card of marriage, or, you know, obviously we're not speaking marriage yet with you guys maybe, but it's about a commitment here, yeah? 4s always talk to us about stability. It's a card also of celebration. So something to be happy about, something to enjoy, Kiki. So I would say, yes, have a belief in this connection and that, and your gut feeling and what you're feeling and to believe it, right? Yeah. I've lost the power of speech. Let me pull one more card because I'm nosy. Interesting, the Hermit energy. The Hermit energy is about shining a light on something. It's about that. It's about insight and gaining information, and I wonder if this is kind of part of your, because the Hermit is a very kind of, let me know if this resonates with your energy or their energy. The Hermit is very introverted and tends to keep themselves to themselves, has a tend to withdraw. And the Hermit card inherently it talks about self-reflection. And I'm wondering if this is tied up to, again, a kind of broader exercise or lesson, because it is a major arcana, in being able to trust your intuition. And here is an opportunity for you to do that. Maybe it's also that it's rare for you to connect with someone. Maybe it's hard for you to trust that connection or to open up. That could be you, that could be them, it could be both of you. So take what resonates with that. It's me, I'm introverted, okay. So it's kind of a bit of an opportunity here, Kiki, with this person to, like I say, maybe it's rare that you would feel connected to someone in this way. And maybe even push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone as well. The Hermit is, it's great to be really reflective, but then there are at some point, you know, I would say I was quite introverted myself, but at some point you kind of have to push yourself and take a risk and make those connections, which I feel like you are doing and you will do. But that's part of this process and part of this connection. And about trusting your insight, because we're shining a light on what we think and what we feel and what we believe. So I hope that resonated. It's rare for me to feel for someone, yeah. So it's hard then, isn't it? Because it all becomes so amplified, and it is kind of out of our comfort zone. But I would encourage you to pursue it, yeah? To try to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Keep us posted, yeah? Oh, sorry, I've just posted your name again. But next we have Jazz, my love. I hope you are still here. We have Jazz, Anshaman, and Lily. Can all go ahead and post if you want, if you are still here. I hope that you are. Made it to the end. I know it's a long time to wait. So I'll just wait and see who is still here. There we go, Jazz, thank you. So Jazz asks, you're welcome, Kiki. Jazz asks, would like to ask guidance for the connection I share with B, who is a Pisces. He never valued me, now he is trying to reconnect. Ugh. They always come back, right? They always come back. Let's have a look. So you want some guidance for this connection. Spirit, please bring this through for Jazz. Judgment. Card of Karma, Jazz. So this is your time to judgment. Whenever I see the card Judgment, I always think of the word discernment, yeah? So this is about making wise choices and tough choices. And in a way, for you to make a judgment call, yeah, about this. I almost feel like the power is in your hands at this point, okay? I mean, you say he never valued you, okay? It's a major arcana as well, so that tells me that there is powerful energies around this. Maybe this person really hit you hard, you know, and maybe made you feel not good about yourself and got under your skin. I'm going to have a look at their energy, but this is universal guidance, yeah? And I feel like it's kind of almost saying like you need to give them almost a taste of their own medicine, make a tough judgment call. You know, you need to look after yourself with this. And is this realistically something that you could even entertain, you know, about a reconciliation with this? You know, big question mark over that, really. That's what this card says to me. Let Spirit show me about their intentions with you, Jazz. I mean, free will, no judgment. If you feel this strong connection with them, sometimes we just have to go back into these connections and find out more if it feels like unfinished business. Nonetheless, we can still have boundaries, we can still take things slow, and we can still be discerning, yeah, which is like making wise and good choices for ourselves in that process. It doesn't mean that you just have to cut them off. You may want to do that, you may feel like you want to do that, but if you want to see what they've got to offer, then I would just say, you know, keep that judgment alive. It's okay to be a tough judge at this time. So I hope that makes sense. Because their intentions, this is interesting. We've got the Five of Swords, which kind of feels a bit chaotic and disruptive still. The Five of Swords is kind of combative. I don't know if there were arguments that were had, if there were harsh words that were had, or if they've had disagreements with other people. But can you see all this kind of crackling sky energy, like thunder? It's almost like they're bringing, this is their energy, yeah. I feel like they are bringing a bit of chaos here. I need to be discerning. So where they're at now, I would say that there isn't much shift. Oh, well, there we go. We have got 2 of Cups, though, just to spice things up and mix things up. There is maybe some genuine feelings here, okay? Maybe it's a powerful connection that is valid and is still true and real. Maybe that's why it's difficult to walk away from this person. Maybe that's as well part of why they are back, because it's not all bad. Yeah, there is some genuine feeling and maybe even some love here, but nonetheless, tread carefully, Jazz, because they bring the chaos. You know this. They can be harsh with their words. They can be combative. And you need to really stand in your discerning energy. Don't make it easy for them, yeah? Make them fight for it if you do want to enter back into this connection. I hope that resonated. Thank you, Anshuman. So, where am I going in regards to my career? Or what's coming towards me in regards for career? Currently in Masters for English. Thank you, Seer. Let's have a look, Anshuman. Jazz says, true, a very guarded energy, a lot of manipulation too. Yeah. There's some nastiness there, Jazz, without doubt, that I see. So I'm sure you've experienced that firsthand, maybe some harshness or, like you say, manipulation in their words, because Swords is all about words and communication. So nonetheless, there are some genuine feelings, but that's not always enough. Keep us posted, Jazz, yeah? Keep us posted with this one. Thank you, Anshuman. So let's have a look. What is coming in career? Where am I going? What is coming? Ooh. Well, there is certainly work coming. You're working on something very important, okay? You're on track, Anshuman, what I would say with this 8 of Pentacles, okay? Look at how diligent you are. Look at all these amazing pentacles that you have created already. So this is you working on your craft. This is you building up wealth in a way, so wealth of knowledge, or you know, obviously working towards, like with this study, with this qualification, it's like you're kind of banking some real kind of quality, building on something very real and creating something of huge value here, Anshuman, okay? 8 of Pentacles as well talks about financial success and prosperity. So I really feel like, and what I keep hearing, because often I get like repetitive sentences that come through or phrases, and it's like that you are on track, on the right path, on track to success. Let's see what else comes through. Anything else that Anshuman needs to know, please, Spirit, regarding career? I mean, maybe that's enough for now. Ooh, we do have Death card, which is about, there's a big transformation here as well. Maybe you feel that already. Maybe you've, through your process of your studies and your journey, that you could have undergone a lot of transformation. The Death card is also what I like to call like a rebirth. So this could be coming in the near future as well. It could manifest in just that everything that you've been through, that you kind of change as a person and maybe your outlook shifts. It could be that you have a shift of direction even in where you want to go. It doesn't mean that this is, because it says you're on track, you're in the right place, you're where you need to be. We can leave the door open for change though. But this death card is, maybe you've had some difficulties in this journey. Maybe you've had to make a lot of sacrifices. And the person who you will be at the end of this is someone different to who you started as, because you've been through so much in a way, so many internal shifts and had challenges and difficult times, and that's all shaped you as a person. So I don't do yes/no questions, Anshuman. I mean, that could be your big transformation, if that would be a big detour, if that's what you want. I'll leave it there though, Anshuman, because, you know, that's a separate question as well. And like I said, I don't do yes/no. You're welcome, Jazz. I'm glad it resonated. Hey, Renuka, new subscriber. So thanks so much for being here. The list is closed today, but I read every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so do join us. I post the times, all the details in the community page, so keep an eye there. So last but not least, Lily, my dear, this is for you. What is L energy towards me? What are their thoughts towards me? Is there hope of reconciliation? So Lily, is this is an ex, yeah, who we want reconciliation? Are we in no contact? Let me know as much as you can. Share about your situation. It helps me to connect to your energy. Hey Renuka, so the list is closed for today, like I said, but I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so you can join us on Wednesday. Let's have a look at L's energy towards you, Lily. That's funny, that's just come out. So they may be burying their head in work at the moment. I feel like that's what they're focused on. Kind of as a distraction. So this would say, I don't see anyone else in the picture who at least there isn't strong feelings there. What they're focused on at the minute is study, is career. They are maybe burying their head in the sand about this, okay? But they seem very focused on this, the task at hand, yeah? But let's dig deeper and see if they do, where this is stemming from with regards to you and this connection. Okay, so there is a transformation really kind of happening here, even if you don't see it yet, Lily, okay? Because the transformation is, with this Six of Swords, is that we are moving from turbulent waters into calmer waters, which is interesting, yeah? So they do, even though they're burying their head in the sand and distracting themselves at this time, what the future, I believe, will bring is that they ultimately, what they kind of want is to move into calmer waters with you and to move into a more peaceful place. So I don't know what brought you to no contact, if it was arguments, if it was misunderstandings. It feels like it was turbulent. Obviously something went awry, something went wrong. But they do want, so their intention towards you ultimately, even though they're not really being proactive about it or dealing with it particularly well at the moment, they do want to move forward with you into a better place, into a more peaceful energy. And what needs to shift is kind of our thoughts around this connection, about doing things differently. So basically learning from our mistakes of the past. Maybe there's some thoughts about each other or about the situation that is outdated and needs to be changed. That can work on both sides, both yours and theirs. But this is a hopeful card, okay, Lily, that they do want to move into a better place with you. So did it just kind of peter out? Just went silent on you suddenly? Tell me one card about that, Spirit, and then I'll leave it there. I don't know if this was someone else, because this Ace of Wands almost says to me like a new opportunity, an opportunity that presented itself that they took. But it doesn't seem to be present anymore because of this energy. So maybe that was just like a flash in the pan that distracted them. Of course, this does raise questions, Lily, about your connection, if this is something that you would want to entertain and go back to. If they've done this, is this something that you'd want to return to? But Ace of Wands is, if you can see, it's like a new opportunity being presented to you, which could suggest another person was in the picture. But I don't see them being there anymore because this is just work, 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 study, study, study. Yeah, exactly. Maybe there was someone else. That's what I feel too. So let that inform you, Lily, you know, about if this is something that you want to go back to, because it raises the question, yeah, if someone just gets this other opportunity presented to them and just takes it, then, you know, and I think probably now that because they did that, they maybe don't know how to get to this better place with you. I mean, Swords is about communication, so you may hear from them again and they may make attempts to reconcile and move things to a better place. But if you want to pursue this is another question. Because like I say, I do see this as opportunity, different person that they kind of took that and just, maybe it was like just the easy option, Lily. Maybe it was just something that someone who was very persistent. It does kind of give flash in the pan energy. Now they're back to work, study, focusing on that. And then that's left it in a weird place with you, basically. Where then maybe they would like to work it out, but they don't know, you know, how do they come back from what they've done. I'll leave it there, Lily, okay? So I hope that resonated for you. And I'll end the live there, guys. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope the messages you've received brought you some clarity, some peace, and some inspiration for the days ahead. Remember to take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and always trust your own inner guidance. I'll be back on our next live on Wednesday. So anyone who didn't get a chance to ask a question today, please do join us then. Just keep an eye on the schedule. All updates are made in the community post. Community page even, sorry. But until then, be kind to yourself, keep centering your energy and stay open to the guidance surrounding you, sending you love and light. Take care and I'll see you soon. I'm glad that resonated, Lily.